Good morning. Today is January the 7th, 2013. Okay, so 2012 sounded so much better. I like the way it sounded more than 2013. Okay, anyways, a lot of people on this planet believe that the moon is just a small, I guess a moon basically, up in space, real close to the Earth. Now, to be honest, I don't know whether it is or not. I mean, the evidence I see from doing these reverse image overlays of the moon's surface over the Earth, what I see, what the pictures show constantly, time and time again, they show that the moon is much bigger than they say, much bigger. Okay, and they also show that it has impacted the Earth. I don't even know how many times anymore. I've lost count. I have literally lost count. I mean, if you do this, you'll see the same thing. You just have to. It takes a little practice to look at these patterns, but once you get it down, I mean, you know, you can see. You'll see it, and you have to believe it eventually. I mean, you'll have to see that the images absolutely show that. Now, I'm not saying I can't say that the moon for sure hit the Earth, but you can look around you and look at the Earth. Just look at the Earth around you, and I can see it. I mean, I can see it in the Himalayas, the Andes, the Rockies, the Sierras, everything shows it. It shows something more extreme than just plate tectonics, okay? The Earth was going through violent tectonic forces back in the day. That's what they always say. And that was because the moon impacted the Earth. There's no question in my... I mean, I think that it did. I'm not saying I can prove that it did. All I can say is I can prove it with the images. The images prove it. They don't, they prove that the images at least show it, that much at least. Okay, so here's Mare Oriental reversed over the Earth, and it's an application placement. I did this one at least 3 weeks ago, and it hasn't moved. I haven't moved it. Google Earth, there was a weather pattern here one day that was circular in shape, and I know when I see those that I have to check them with this crater or just about any other area of the moon. Okay, but this one especially. This is because this is the best detailed image of the moon I can get. Okay, I mean it absolutely is, because they give you every moon image you look at is that I've seen that doing this for almost 3 years are complete garbage. They edit the image so bad. I mean, look at all these pics. Look at all this stuff. This is not what they got. They have high resolution pictures of the moon. Believe me. I mean, have you ever looked at the moon with a telescope? I have plenty of times, and I mean, I'll tell you what. It does not look like this, with these craters all softened, all these softened edges. No way does it look like that. These are all highly defined areas, very high, sharp edges. Okay, that's what they look like in real life when you look at the moon with binoculars or a telescope or whatever. Okay, so this is the south pole of the moon as well. I got that on here too, and I have it reversed on the Earth, and I'm just trying to show that whatever hit the south pole of the moon is the same exact thing that hit this right here. The Mare Oriental was whatever created Mare Oriental. Okay, Mare Oriental I believe hit it first, but then you got this one. I don't know when the south pole came along. It's hard to figure out the order of what hit first because it's very confusing. But every crater on the moon, big crater on the moon, will be shaped like this crater right here, because it used to hit the same spot on the Earth. This one would hit, then the next area of the moon would hit the same spot on the Earth until the poles changed on the Earth. The poles used to be in a different spot in the Pacific at one time, because you can see over here, these used to be the poles. Okay, but now the pole is up here, and it's been hit. The poles that we have now on the Earth, the north and south, have both been hit by both of these areas of the moon, this crater and the south pole of the moon. Absolutely fit up here in the North Pole and in the South Pole, and I'll show you that. I'm going to show you that right now. Okay, but just take a look at how they are the same, basically the same crater. Okay, just look at all the lines. Look at the inside, and look at this big circle right here. See the big circle right there? Right there? There it is, right there. Same thing. Look at this. Look at this. How this curves over this way. This edge right here. Here's the edge of the circle right here. See this? Here's the circle. Here's the edge of it. And then you start right here and come up this way, and see how this comes over like that? Okay, you see the same thing right there, exact same thing right there. You see this, you can see if it just takes a little practice looking at these things to know what you're looking at. Then you come over here and you see like this angle here, right? And you see the same angle right here. See the same angle? Same thing. Next line, you see this right here? You're not able to see through this image. This is not both the images shown at once. This is this image and that's this image. So you're seeing the same exact thing. And then there's this crater right there. Same thing. Okay. They're created by the same thing. Both these craters on the moon are both hit by the same exact object, which is the Earth. Okay, because you can the North Pole, the South Pole, both go there. Okay, I'm going to bring up first. I'm going to bring up I guess right here. I'm going to bring up the North Pole. If I got to find it real quick. Here we go. Okay, I got to move it. I had it all set up somewhere else, but now see this is all. Now I have it set to scale because the first picture I showed you of Mare Oriental, that's the size of the moon, people. That is the size of the moon because it's a perfect alignment, and I'll show you the weather in a minute to prove that. I mean the weather and the way it fits on the land. I'll show you that if I remember. Oh, I hate it when I get up here like this. See, now I'm having trouble because I'm getting up to the poles, but I should be able to swing this up, pull this off here. Okay, so it's got to come around like this. That curve in Greenland goes right up against that big crater, that big round crater right up here. Look, just like this. Okay, now let me see if I can get this rest of it in there properly. There it is, right there. There it is. You see that? Let me turn it over so you see it how you're used to looking at it. Okay, so here we go. The South Pole of the moon over the North Pole of the Earth. Oh, wait. I don't have it right. Hold on. Something's up here. It's got to be bigger. Something's got to be bigger or smaller. Let me see. How does this go? Okay, because I have to get this right here. This line that you see that comes up right here, that is right here. Right here. That's right there. So I got to make it bigger, apparently. Something's got to be bigger. Or I don't know. I already got this the right size. This is already the right size, I thought. Might have shrunk, though, because I moved it towards the pole. Let's measure it. Should be about 1,500 miles or something. Okay, that's close enough. Let me see here. What's going on? Yeah, it's actually too big, so I need to make it a little bit smaller is what the problem is. So I'm going to do that. It's a little bit, about 200 miles too big, and this should bring it right up to the thing right there. Here we go. Okay, a little bit up. Right about there somewhere. I had it better before. Anyways, that curve's got to go right up against the curve of Greenland, that big crater. It has to go there. And then this has to go, see that line again? That line is right there in the North Pole, right here. Right there. It's the same exact thing. This hits the North Pole, regardless of whether you see it or not. I mean, I'm telling you, if you look, if you have a big screen and you look, you're going to see it. No doubt about it. So let's move this. I think that's good right there. That's pretty close. No, it's not close enough. Should be right there. Alright, I'm just going to leave it there. Okay, so here we go. There's that line, you see, that's the exact same thing that creates that line, believe it or not. Believe it or not. Yeah, it's close enough. Anyways, you can see what I'm talking about with Greenland, how it fit in there. Okay. Look at how it fits in there. You can see the whole shape. I mean, it goes here. It takes practice looking at it, but you will see the same thing that I see if you do it yourself. It'll all fit together. And like I said, nowadays, or I didn't say that in this video, but I said it before, I don't take any picture of the moon and just hunt around for it to fit somewhere. I had to do that in the beginning because I had no references from the beginning when I started doing this. I had no reference points at all. I had to do that. I had to hunt around, find things where they fit, and I had to do it that way. I had to guess. Now I don't do it that way. I don't put down a picture of the moon over the Earth unless something shows me where to put it. And that's the only way I do it now. And when I do it that way, when something shows me to put something somewhere, I take that area of the Earth and I put it, or that area of the moon, and I put it there. Every time it fits. No question, no doubt. It always fits because I do not do it that way anymore. I don't have to do it that way. You don't have to. Once you get the hang of it, and things start to show you where to go, you just know. You know what's going to happen. You absolutely know. So there is the North Pole impact. I think if I had it in a different spot, it wouldn't do this. See how it's squeezing the picture? That's screwing me up a little bit. It's screwing me up quite a bit, actually. But this is that same line right here. This line is that line. See it right here? That hump? That is the same thing. I would guarantee it. I promise you it is. It is. Absolutely is. Okay. Now, I might have adjusted that other moon picture a little. Okay, so now let me show you now that picture of Mare Oriental over the land and show you that and with the weather so that you can see that the application put it right in the right spot. Right here. Okay, so here's the weather first of all. And the weather, I made a couple videos yesterday, but the weather is still the same as it was last night. It might update though. But look at how the weather fits in here. Right where it should. Look at how it follows this line. It does not go outside that line. Now this is, like I said, I put this picture down 3 weeks ago to the weather that was here. Lined it up to the weather that was here before 3 weeks ago. Totally different weather. But you can see, as any day I turn on the weather and there is weather over this overlay that I put down, it will fit every day, every single day, guaranteed. In this over the moon, look at that right there. Look how it follows that line perfectly. Okay, and then you see how this is a good spot here. I always like this spot right here. Check this out. That is that spot right there. Some days it looks a little bit better, but it's right there. That is right there. But see it? That fits right in place. It's because this is a perfect overlay of the moon's surface over the Earth, right where it hits on the Earth. I'm not saying it happened right here, in this location on the Earth, because things have moved. Okay, but it does hit this spot on the Earth. I mean, it's hard to explain that. It hits this spot on the Earth, but this spot has been around the Earth, different places. You know, as working from the poles or whatever. It's been in different locations, so you know it's. Let me just show you this over the Earth. It's really hard to explain to people that are so stuck on this moon being, like trusting the scientists. I don't trust any of them. I don't believe any of it anymore after seeing what I've seen. Trust me, you'll see the same thing. But right here in Mexico, you see how that fits in Mexico right here? I mean, like I said, the program put it in place. I haven't moved it. And you see how this goes up here, right here. Okay? And then let me just take this away and show you, people. Okay, if you take this picture away, look at the west coast of North America right here. It starts right here, right where you see this cut through the Sierras right here, right there, and it comes around and it curves around, and this is an edge of an impact. That's the edge of an impact right there, and that's the edge of this impact right here. Absolutely is. And that is the size of the moon. Now I'm going to I could take the South Pole, and I could put the South Pole over both of these craters that I just showed you, the South Pole of the moon and this Mare Oriental. I could take the South Pole and put it up there, because you can put that big crater, that one big crater that I showed on the South Pole goes right here. You put that there, and you will see the South Pole of the moon is shaped exactly like Antarctica. And exactly. So that shows right there the size of the moon, the exact size of the moon, because it's two poles hitting each other. The moon, the South Pole of the moon hitting the South Pole of the Earth, which was probably the North Pole of the Earth at the time that it hit, because opposites attract. So if the South Pole of the moon had hit the what we call the South Pole of the Earth today, it had to be the North Pole at the time. This had to be at the North Pole at the time when it hit, because only opposites attract. Like poles repel, like everybody says, the moon's always moving away from the Earth. Well, it's not always moving away from the Earth. Obviously, if you look at the Earth and you look at the moon, you'll find that out. Not always moving away from the Earth. Poles flip on the Earth, the moon comes back. But that would mean this would be the North Pole, and that's because it hits here. You'll see. Put that big crater that I showed you on the South Pole of the moon right here. Watch. This big crater. See that big crater right there? Put that right here. And you'll see that this whole thing is Antarctica. The whole thing. So and when you measure this crater on the moon, this crater, and I've showed before in my videos where I've taken craters that I know hit in North America, like the Kepler crater up here and the Copernicus crater over here. and I've measured the distance between them on the moon, on the Earth, right? And the distance between them on the Earth is 4 times the distance they are between them on the moon. 4 times. So what you get when you measure like this big crater on the Earth, when you find that it fits right here or down in Antarctica, then you can also see this big crater right here in China, right here. This is the same crater. That crater creates this, people. It creates it. Check it yourself. Okay, it goes there. That's the same crater, but this is 800 miles across right here. Okay, on the moon it's 200 miles across. 4 times the size they say the moon is. 4 times. It has to be. And you go try to measure the moon. Go try to measure the moon. You can't do it. There's no way that you can measure the moon and get an accurate reading. No way. I don't care. Anybody that you can say they got a mirror on the moon, that they got a laser they point at, that's bullshit. Unless you've ever done it yourself or seen it done or whatever, you don't know how to measure the moon. You can't measure the distance or the size. So the size of the moon is 4 times the size as to these pictures. These pictures show it to be 4 times the size every day I do it. Everywhere I put a picture, 4 times the size. Always, it holds to that pattern 4 times. It don't matter what I put down now. It's always 4 times. So, as far as the moon, it must be further away. If you're getting a reading of 2,100 miles of moon, it must be further away then. You're not getting the right distance then. Obviously, the distance is further. It has to be further away if you're getting a measurement of 2,000 miles, because it shows to be 4,000 miles. All over the Earth. I don't care where you look. You put the pictures of the moon down on the Earth in reverse, you will find places where they all fit perfectly, and you will see that the moon is 4 times the size they say. This is just the crater it leaves. It doesn't, this is the size crater it leaves right here, which is already bigger than the moon. This whole crater is bigger than the moon. Okay? And that, it just shows. I mean, you can see that this is Antarctica. That big crater goes right here. That's 800 miles right there, that big area. I mean, this whole continent is bigger than what they say the moon is. Right here. They say the moon's 2,100 miles. Well, here you go. There's your moon right there. That's what they say the whole moon is. Well, if that's the case, then this is the same size. Then you still have the whole moon to go. You have the rest of the moon to go. This is just the South Pole. You still have. It's 4 times the size, people. Check it out. Check out my other videos where you can see the weather patterns just line up everywhere all the time, perfectly right, because they're in perfect locations. Look at my Mayan one, the Mayan mask one. Look at the ones where I put here. I'll put this one up real quick before I end the video. I know many people have seen it already, but I'm pretty soon I'm going to stop making videos because I'm not going to put out the same. I'm tired of putting out the same thing. If I find something, if I get some better pictures of the moon, I can show you some better stuff. I'll show you better stuff. But I got good stuff up already. This is an overlay that the application put in place. That's the size. That's the size of Mare Oriental right there. Want to see the size of that crater? That crater is 3,500 miles across, and it will be 35 miles across everywhere it fits on the Earth. Here, this crater right here, you see this crater? 3,500 miles across, practically. I mean, it's close enough. It's within 200 miles, which is nothing compared, when you're going on a scale like this, nothing. Okay, so there you go. That's the size of the moon. That craters. They're just the size of these craters. It's 3,500 miles. I had this picture on my desktop yesterday that showed. It's on my channel. That picture on my channel that shows the Earth and the moon hitting each other, and notice that the picture of the moon is the same size or even a little bit bigger than the Earth. That's accurate. That's an accurate picture. That's why I put it on my channel, because it's accurate. And take a look at my desktop too. This is what I see when the moon starts to come closer to the Earth. Here's your rapture. Everything flying up into the air. Gravity gets weaker on the Earth. It pulls everything up. It stops pulling just the tides. It starts to pull things up. That's what I see. And I'm not saying it's going to happen again, but I do believe that it probably will. That's my own belief. I probably will again. I mean, it's done it so many times, and they don't tell you about it. First of all, they tell you lies to keep you from getting the gold and all this stuff in the Earth back in the old days. That's why they didn't tell you, because they wanted to get the riches out of the earth. They knew that it brought that to the earth, all the way back to the Egyptians. I mean, way back. Them people knew. Okay, they knew the moon must have been close. Like the Mayans, they saw a different side of the moon than we see every month when the moon's full. They didn't see that moon, that same side of the moon. They saw a Mare Oriental moon. And watch my video, you'll see what I'm talking about. So subscribe if you want updates on things. If I keep making videos, I probably will. But and hit the like button, whether you like the video or not, because like I say all the time, I don't even like my videos. But if you like the idea of what I'm trying to show and what I'm trying to do here, hit the like button anyways. Appreciate that. Thank you. Because I'm trying to get these up to the top so people can see these. I'm not really, that's it. All right, have a good day.